Hi, and welcome to episode 65 of the Cat Lady podcast. It's been a long time, but here I am. I think this is only episode 2 of the year, but I'm not giving up. Here I am again, trying again. So it's been a busy, fast-paced summer. I'm just getting over a cold, so forgive me if I'm clearing my throat a lot. But welcome. If you've never seen me or checked me out before, thanks for popping in. Again, I've been very few and far between with episodes, but I do have, this is episode 65, so I'm doing it for a couple years, so please go back and watch some of my previous episodes, and if you like what you see, please subscribe on YouTube. Definitely dropped some subscribers by being MIA, so if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you've previously subscribed and then unsubscribed, come back. But it's good to be back, and, gonna try to keep it short. I don't like to make the episodes too long, and again, summer's been so busy, I haven't had a lot of time to do my crafts, and so I don't have a ton to share, which I think is kind of good, because I don't want to roll on for 2 hours. So with that, we'll jump right in. There's no news. I don't really have any podcast news, so no, not really. I mean, I'm gonna be at Michigan Fiber Fest this weekend, but we'll talk about that later anyway, so that's kind of the only news, I guess. So we can jump right into the craft. So knitting, I've kind of been in a knitting funk. Kind of gonna blame that on one of my whips that's giving me a hard time, but I'm talking about my positive whip, my one that I've actually been working on. This is my Yarn Twinsies shawl. It's a simple triangle shawl. It came off the ball band from the Karen Cakes yarn, and I'm trying to remember when I started this. It's definitely been on the needles for a while, but I'm finally ready to get it off the needles, and we're getting pretty close. We still got a ways to go, but this is going to be hopefully my official Rhinebeck shawl. It will be. It'll be done by October. So, and Jen, the Uncreative Crafter, she is my Yarn Twinsie, is making the same shawl in a different. Interrupted by a phone call. That's what happens when I record on my phone. Anyways, as I was saying, Jen, the Uncreative Crafter, is my Yarn Twinsie. That's what we kind of deemed ourselves over the years, because we've made a lot of matching projects. So she's making the same shawl, just a different colorway. So sometimes we use the same color yarn, sometimes we do the same pattern, so we have a few Yarn Twinsie projects that we've been calling them. So again, this is the triangle shawl. I can't remember if it's just called Knit Triangle Shawl or Simple Triangle Shawl, Easy Triangle Shawl. Everything's on my Ravelry, so please go check out my Ravelry page. I'm the Cat Lady, 2 T's. Let's see. Yeah, this is a different pattern on this one. But here's the imploding cake. This is the Cake Pop colorway, and basically it's knit sideways, like across. It's not like top down, like a typical shawl construction. It was using 2 cakes. So I took 1 cake and knit until, yeah, it's getting pretty big, and knit until the center point. So you just keep increasing until the center point, and then now I'm decreasing. So you can see the end there. So yeah, so at least it's fine. I mean, it's huge. It's definitely gonna be like a blanket. So, which actually, if it's, I don't even know how I'm gonna wear it, to be honest. I mean, I'm gonna wear it like a shawl, like a granny shawl style. I mean, I definitely could, because it's gonna be huge. Or if I'm gonna wrap it around, I'm not sure. But if it's cold for Rhinebeck, this would be perfect. If it's hot for Rhinebeck, then we're in trouble. So I will have a backup shawl this time. Last year, I wore my sweater, my bulky sweater, but I was gonna bring a shawl too, and I didn't. I totally forgot. So hopefully this year I'll remember a couple projects just to have on hand, just in case. Because I was gonna wear my fiber optics shawl and show it off at the fiber optic booth, but I forgot. So, and that's living in a Disney bag, because it's getting really big, and I don't really have any big bags. So it doesn't even really fit in this bag that well either, but so I need to get more big bags for big shawls. But yeah, that's like the blanket. So that'll be cozy for the winter. So my project that has kind of killed my knitting mojo has been a pair of socks, of all things, a pair of socks, right? So I started this was a Father's Day present for my husband. I bought Patton's Croy. I had the kids pick out a color each, and I picked out a color, and this is the Cadet Colors Patton's Croy Effects yarn. and I decided to try 2 at a time socks, which actually worked rather well. This is the CATT red lace zeros, and yeah, the cord is nice and flexible because I've had problems with flexibility before. So I got them all the way done, bound off everything, tried them on my husband's feet, which I've made socks for him before, but usually I use size 1s or 1.5. These were 0s. So I had, I tried to adapt as usual because I'm just measuring. I don't know. Something went wrong. It didn't work. They were too small. So, and I didn't want to rip them all the way out, so I managed to rip them back to right below the heel. Send the toe up, so I ripped out the heel and a row or two after. And then I think I managed to match them back up. So I'm not guaranteed that they might not, and one might be a row off, but they look pretty spot on. I got them back going. I knit up to where I needed to, so I'm ready for the heels now. But I didn't want to do 2 heels again. I had just done the heels, it seemed like, and so now I gotta do 2 heels again. And I use Fish Lips Kiss heels. They're simple, not whatever, but I just didn't want to do them again. So it's been like a month since I've touched these. So I really need to get on these. But the triangle shawl is kind of my priority since I kind of have a timeline on that. But I also have Christmas socks I'd like to start because I was going to make Christmas socks for the whole family. So that's 4 pairs of socks. So we'll see. Maybe we might have to pass on the Christmas socks this year. Even though I bought the yarn last December because I was like, I'm going to be prepared and make my Christmas socks in time. Yep. Story of my life. So those are my only whips right now, which is fine. I've kind of been more in a spinning mojo, so once you get the spinning, you'll see all the projects I've done for spinning. So, but since I've last recorded, I have had a few spinning or knitting finished objects, and these have all been finished for a while. But my biggest and greatest, excuse me, is my fade, my Find Your Fade. And if you follow me on Instagram, I am the Cat Lady, 2 T's, TheCatTlady on Instagram. You'll have seen everything because if you want to follow me and keep up to date on what I'm doing, pretty much I'm a daily Instagram user. So there's barely a day that goes by, except maybe the weekend that I don't post. But anyways, and if you want to see all the colors I used, Ravelry. Everything's on Ravelry. So here's my fade. And to be honest, I like it, but I don't love the colors I ended up with. I mean, they fade well, they fine, but this part's my favorite part, and this is the part you really don't see when you wear it. It's kind of awkward to wear, and because I kind of aim the triangle point to be in the front, so it's like you're really focusing on the blue and the white section, and then you kind of wrap it around and do some weird stuff with it. I don't know, I figured it out at one point, but it took a while. And you kind of, I don't know, you just kind of floop it around a bit. Of course, I got a shawl underneath, so I mean, there's many ways to wear it, but I had it a good way at one point where it looked nice in the front and the back. So it takes some playing around with. It's very difficult to style for me, but it's not been the season to really wear it. I wore it out a couple times after I made it, because it was a little bit of a cooler evening, but for the most part, it's been summer, so I haven't had a chance to really take it out and wear it, but I love it. I really do love the pattern, and I hopefully I'm going to pick out some yarn at Rhinebeck to make another one. But I want to get, I want to be specific. So now I know the first 3 yarns are more of the, tail that you don't see as much. Really the primary focus is on color, see, we got 1, 2, 3, color 4 and 5. So 4 and 5 are really the prime focus colors, so those have to be my favorite colors, and then kind of build out each end from there. So Brandy, Eat My Yarns, had mentioned, she's like, if you don't want it, I'll take it. But so if I make another one, I might send her this one, so because it's fun. I like it. And again, if you want to see all the yarns I used, please visit my Ravelry group, our Ravelry page. I have them all listed there. So next I have my Sweetie socks, that's what I'm calling them, and they were made out of Zwergergarn Opal Reginald Rainforest yarn. That's a mouthful. Again, everything is updated on my Ravelry page, and it's the Sweetie colorway, so that's why they're my Sweetie socks. And this was the yarn that David picked out for Mother's Day, so I think I showed that off of last episode. So these turned out really pretty. I love these. So the pattern is, striping pattern is really pretty. Sorry if that's not focused. And then the toe cuff heels are in just Serenity Sock Hotline. And that color, I think that color worked out really well. Picks up like the yellow that's in there. So I haven't really worn these yet. So yeah, these actually are still freshly blocked because it's summer. Yeah, I've been wearing really heavy socks. I do have my Neon Now socks on right now, just because I do wear socks to bed because my feet get cold at night. And those were just the first ones I picked up, and they're shorty socks. So, but my feet are a little warm right now, so if I go out, I'd probably put on my flip-flops and take off my socks. And the last finished object that, again, you've probably seen it if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen on Instagram, but I haven't showed it off here, is my Spindrift shawl. And let me tell you, it's by Helen Stewart. If you sign up for a mailing, if you go to Ravelry and look it up, you can sign up for her mailing list, which she doesn't spam you or anything. I don't think I've gotten an email since she sent this pattern, and she talks about the pattern in like, you get 3 or 4 emails in a row per day talking about different aspects of this pattern, and that's it. But it was free, and it's an awesome pattern. I mean, it's very simple. It's a single skein crescent shawl with a nice lace. It's very easy to adapt. I actually had to eliminate one of the final rows, so I got all the way to the end because I thought I was gonna. I wasn't sure. The end of the ball was getting pretty small, and it is a picot edge, so that eats yarn too. But I got so far, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably not gonna have enough. So then I polled my Instagram crew and kind of hemmed and hawed. I was either gonna add a different color edging, because you know, if you go through project pages, some people did that, or I was gonna have the tink back a couple rows and then bind off, because I was like, yeah, I was like right at the yarn over row, so I was gonna have to like go back a row or 2 or something. Whatever it was, it required me the tink back like 2 or 3 rows and then do the edging, or I could add a border. That's where I was kind of at. I'm very glad I decided to just tink back and not, because it's just, this colorway is so pretty. I didn't want to take away from that. This is also Mother's Day yarn. This was from Emily. So yeah, I figured after I made David's socks, I wanted to make Emily's project, so I had those both done because those were very special, important. My kids picked me out special yarn. So yeah, and this perfect size. Okay, this is a perfect 1 skein shawl. And I'm wearing it over top my shawl, but the tails come down plenty long enough. And this is a perfect. I've worn this out a couple times. I love this. So, because I was a little worried it was gonna be too small, because I'm not a huge 1 skein shawl person. I kind of like them bigger because I like because the tails always come up too short and then they fall, and then it just, they don't look right. So, but this is beautiful. And if I had the extra row on there, it'd be even better. But you know, the yardage of this skein was not quite matched what her yardage was on whatever skein she used. But this is the Dream and Color Smushy with cashmere, so it's nice and soft, in the My Fair Lady colorway. Yeah, I'm totally making that again. I don't know what yarn I'm using yet, but I'm totally making that again. So that is all for knitting. So on to spinning. So yeah, I did a lot of spinning. I participated in Tour de Fleece, which I actually started it and finished it, so yay! So, but I will go first. I'm talking about my whips, which I started during Tour de Fleece, but I didn't finish. So this, I started spinning on my eel wheel. It's the Malabrigo Nube Pure Merino, or Pure Merino Nube, I don't know what it is, but it's in the Boreal colorway. And the cat's scratching. Hey! Hey! Scratching on my carpet. It was very felted, which I've heard is typical with Malabrigo. And I bought it anyways, even knowing that it might be a little felty, but I didn't really realize how bad it was going to be. So I pull open the braid. I start with it, and in its full, 1-inch thickness, and I kind of pre-draft a little bit, but boy, it was rough. And then I'm picking out chunks, just felted bits. And I start doing that, and I'm like, okay. And so then I'm talking about it on the Tour de Fleece board, and someone's like, well, you should probably break it into thinner strips first and then draft. So okay, that's a good idea. So I broke it into like 3 or 4 different thinner, so almost like pencil roving, and drafted them out. And I had my little basket of little nests in there, and I'd just pull it still had so many just slubs and thick parts and whatever, and but I didn't want to fight. I'm not going to fight with it. It's just going to be what it wants to be. So it's going to be art yarn. It's going to be thick and thin and slubby, and it's got, felted bits in it and whatever, and you know what? It's going to be fine. It's still really soft. And then I thought, okay, I could do something with it. I thought about doing something different with the singles. I thought I could ply it with a white. Like I have some white singles that are just chilling out. I thought about that. I thought I could ply it with a gold thread or, sparkly thread or something, sewing thread. But there's a lot of the really thin spots, and I don't have the thread. And then Jen had mentioned Untitled Chapter, because of course I always run by my ideas with her, that it might bleed onto the white, which it's dark purple and blue. It's guaranteed to bleed on the white. So that was a bad idea. So, and then we just both decided just to ply it. It's easier. I don't have to go buy anything, and I can just be done with it. So, and I think it's going to still be pretty. So here's the singles. You can kind of see some of the thicker spots. It's not as easy to tell, but it's got a lot of fun colors in it. So I will keep you posted on how that turns out. I will post the finished product on Instagram. And I also have a Facebook group, so if you are on Facebook, you can find me as the Cat Lady Podcast on Facebook. I'm supposed to mention this at the beginning, but I forgot because I haven't done this in forever. So there's that. So that's my only spinning whip right now. So I'm kind of sticking to one whip at a time, one or two. So at one point I think I had something on both wheels and my spindle for Tour de Fleece. So with my finished objects, I have lots of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of them are officially from Tour de Fleece. The 5th one is from after. But so my first one is the BFL Lincoln Alpaca Blend. It's a little scratchy. It's not really soft. It was another kind of furry, hairy kind of wool. So you can see there's lots of fuzz that sticks out of it, but here it is. And I made this all on spindle, which this is actually the first complete 4 ounces I've done on a spindle. Usually I do the 2 ounce bats, which I did 2 ounce sections because I'm not putting any more than 2 ounce on a spindle. It gets way too heavy, it drops, it started to get frustrating. So 2 ounces is my limit for spindle. So I did 2 ounces, I unrolled it, I did another 2 ounces, I unrolled it, and then I applied it on the wheel because, you know what? It took me a day. Maybe 2 days. I think I might have done it in a day. One or 2 sessions in one day, as opposed to it would have took me like a week or 2 to apply it on the spindle. And then I would have 4 ounces trying to fit on the spindle, and I would have been angry. So this is the Galaxy colorway. It's from Random Rowings. It's a local farm and I got this at the Ann Arbor Fiber Festival. It's only $9. 4 ounces of fiber. Yeah, I mean, it was like a deal. But, cover her address, but Random Rovings. I'd buy from her again. So, again, it's a little scratchy. I don't think it's like next to skin. Maybe like a hat or a scarf that you wore over a coat. So not really, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But it's really pretty. I like all the barber pulling. I like the colors. So, I don't know, I like the process of spinning, and I like the product, but it's like I don't ever make anything with my spinning. I don't say I never make things, but I don't make a lot of things with my spinning yet. So next up is, which this one's nice and soft, is a BFL. It's the Yo-Yo Flamingo colorway, and this is from Red Umbrella Yarns, which is Megan Sanders, who is TV Nerd Knits on Ravelry and Instagram. She's a pattern designer, she's a yarn dyer. She sometimes does a podcast. She's like me and kind of pops in and out when she can. So, but this was I spun the singles on my wheel, my Ashford traditional, and then I chain plied it because I wanted to keep some of these fun color runs because the braid was very, eclectic. I don't know. And I had a lot, when I started spinning, I had lots of pink, long runs of pink, long runs of purple and orange, and instead of barber pulling again like I had just done, I kind of wanted to maintain some of the stripes. I mean, there's plenty of barber pulling in there too, but this will make a fun hat or something. So Next we did, okay, so my eel wheel had broke during Tour de Fleece. The glue, and it was simple fix, so the glue had come undone on one of those areas, and all I had to do was disassemble it and reglue it. It took me a while to get the courage up to do it, so this project sat on my wheel for a while, but this was my first completed wheel project. So it was started prior to Tour de Fleece, but most of it was done during the tour. So this is 5 ounces? It's more than 4. It's 5 or 6 ounces. I think it was 5. Just white merino. I purchased a big bump of roving that came with all 2 or 3 cakes of singles as well. I think they must have been used in a spinning class. So from my local yarn store. So it was in the clearance section. It was all like, it's like $10 or something. So so this was all the roving. And the roving, again, it was a little felty, and it's like I pulled a lot of, it was a bit of a pain, so I didn't think this was going to turn out very well, but actually it turned out pretty nice. I mean, it's definitely got some thicker spots in there and some fluffier bits, but it's really pretty. So, and I 2-plied it, and I don't know, I might dye it, I might leave it. Haven't decided yet, but it's a good chunk of stuff. I don't know, I could dye it and do a spindrift, so I can make it whatever color I want. And then probably my favorite tour project, which was my final tour project, is my organic Polworth. It's called, the colorway is Go Home Wool, You're Drunk, which I thought was pretty funny. And I usually don't go for pastel-y colors, but it was pretty, so I couldn't pass it up. And I got this at a truck show that they were having, this Ice Melon Stash, and it's, I mean, organic Polworth. I mean, how fancy does that sound? But Ice Melon Stash. She was at the Ann Arbor Festival too. But, oh, and she's on Etsy. I'm just trying to cover up the price. I don't need to tell you how much everything is. So she's on Etsy. But this was... So I started spinning the singles, and they came out really thin, which was really cool. So I chain plied it. So it still looks like it's like a fingering weight, but it's actually a 3-ply, which typically I don't spin that thin. So, which was a little scary because, you know, it liked, when I did a sample. This was my little sample. It broke a couple times because I didn't give it enough twist, but that's why I did sample, so I'd see how I liked it and how it turned out. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. So it's kind of blue and purple and gray and white. So that was my final tour project. So then I have one more project. So I was, I'll talk about this later, I volunteered at Maker Faire in Detroit, doing some drop spinning stuff. And I kind of wanted a project on my spindle to take with me for the day, because I knew I was going to be there for a few hours and I'd be able to spin while I was there. So I threw that on my art bat that I got from Rhinebeck. It's the Glitzy bat from Misty Mountain Farm. It's a blend of wool, mohair, silk, and glitz. So it looks like tinsel. I used on my spindle that I got from Isella, which, that's such a nice spindle. I'm pretty sure she made that spindle, and I got a lot of compliments on it at the festival, and it's just it's a very simple spindle, but it works so well. So it was only 2 ounces, and of course it's an art back, so it's a little bit chunky and funky in places because it's got chunks in it. It was a little frustrating because there was a lot of VM in it. There was a lot of vegetable matter in it. I mean, I've done a lot of spinning. I've done a lot of bats. I've done a lot of, you know, local farm stuff or whatever, and I've never had this much. I mean, like, personally, I would not sell something with that much stuff in it. I mean, literally, I'm shaking it out. It's all over my pants every time I'm done spinning. I had to stop and pick out large pieces. I mean, I'm not talking about tiny little pieces. I mean, there was plenty of tiny pieces. Those tend to shake out and spin out, but, like, big pieces of stuff. And it looked like it was mostly in the mohair section, so obviously that was, you know, but I don't know. For being something, I don't know, so. But it worked out. It's pretty. I like it. I don't know if I would buy again or not. I mean, it was nice. I mean, and if you follow me on Instagram, I'm going to say again, I have a really pretty picture of the inside of the bat, because the one side of the bat pretty much looked the blue and purple, but the inside had all the fun stuff in it. all the glitz and the silk and stuff, and it was beautiful. It really was. Almost a work of art. So it's, you know, was it worth the hassle of picking all the bits out? Maybe. So, but maybe next time I would actually like investigate and look at that before I buy. So just to see, just so I know what I'm getting into, because I was very unexpected, and I'm still kind of like, even when I was staining it up, I was still picking out little bits of stuff in it. So, but it's pretty soft. So I mean, scratchy stuff doesn't really bother me that much, but I think this would be okay. But it's only 2 ounces, so I'd have to either make something, gloves or something, or find something else to contrast it with. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty good spinning. Not as good as some people when I watch pictures of what people did for Tour de Fleece, and they have like 30 skeins of yarn, but for me, this was pretty darn good. So, that's it for spinning. So, crochet, sewing, nada. Haven't done anything else. Stash, I do not have a lot of stash, which, you know, when I'm not doing a lot of stuff, of course, I'm not buying a lot of stuff either. Gotta save up my money for fiber festivals anyway, so Rhinebeck and Michigan Fiber Fest are coming up, so. But what I did get is I won from the Tour de Fleece. I won some fiber. So this is Spinning Bunny Pixie Bat, spinningbunny.com. And it is Merino, Angelina, Angora, and Falkland. 2 2-ounce bats, 4 ounces. And it says, yeah, I don't know what it says. Something with purple. I don't know what that says. It looks like it says like sleigh. Something, SL. Yeah, I have no idea. Any ideas? They both say that. Something with purple. Sleigh with purple. I don't know. So, but it's blue and purple. So, I was trying to figure out another word for blue, but yeah. So that's that. And then for volunteering at the Needle Arts booth put on by TNNA, so the Needle Arts, National Needle Arts Association or something like that, at the Maker Fair, I got a prize, a teacher gift, I guess. So I got to pick out from a few things, and so I picked out this random, who knows what it is, I don't know, fiber. Looks like it's hand-dyed. So might need a little bit of pre-drafting as well. I keep stumbling across these fibers that are little. Another minor interruption. First my phone said it was full, and then I got knocked on the door and we had some another construction quote, working on more house projects. But anyways, this was my fun fiber from the Maker Fair. So with that, that's everything in stash, and we'll just do a quickie life in review. What have I been up to this summer? Lots of, oh, actually, I was going to throw in one more section in there, my gaming section. So if you, how many times am I going to say, if you follow me on Instagram, I post everything on Instagram. But anyway, so you've seen I've been into playing some video games. My husband bought me a new Nintendo Switch for, just because he's got one, and so I thought it would be nice for me to have one too. So this is the latest Nintendo product. It's handheld, but it also, you can hook it up to the TV. So it works as like a console. These little guys slide off, and they can be like little remotes. So you can play, so you got 2 of them. So either you can play the game, like how you can kind of set this up and play like this. Like you have like little remotes kind of. Or you can play it handheld. It's kind of heavy. Play it handheld, but I really like it. I've been playing Splatoon 2, which is the sequel to Splatoon, which is a fun. You're a little squid guy, and you have little like squirt guns, and that squirt ink in different colors, and it's like a turf war. You're trying to squirt the team who gets your teams of 4, 2 teams of 4, and you're trying to cover whoever gets the most ground coverage wins. They also have a single player playthrough game you can do too, but I haven't touched that yet. But I beat Splatoon 1, the single player, and probably try to beat this one too. But I've been playing that, and then I decided I've been playing it was like winter or whatever. I started playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is the newest Zelda game, but Jim bought it for the Switch, for his Switch, and he bought me a version for the Wii U. So I played on the Wii U, he played on the Switch, because it was prior to me getting a Switch. And I beat that one. But now that I have my Switch, decided I want to play it again. So I started playing that again, and it's a lot of fun. It's a very involved game. I think both of us clocked in like 70 hours on the first go around, so I'm only a few hours in this time. But I don't know if I'll beat it again, but I figured I would. It's just a really fun game, and it's kind of fun going through a second time, knowing kind of things and getting through things a little quicker because I know what I'm doing. So I'm having fun with that. But that, you know, instead of knitting, I do the gaming, so everything takes up too much time. Too many hobbies, but I'm really enjoying that, so just thought I'd share that. So now life in review. So I've been knitting little, gaming, spinning lots. It's kind of been the summer, but as far as family stuff and everything, but as I mentioned, I volunteered at the Maker Faire, and the TNNA, which is the National Needle Arts Association, I believe, puts on a booth that's called the Needle Art Zone, and they teach spinning, weaving, crochet, knitting, needlepoint, which I'm not sure what needlepoint is exactly, and then cross stitch. I know what cross stitch is. I'm not sure the difference between needlepoint and cross stitch. So I've never done needlepoint. But when I showed up, they're like, okay, we need somebody to teach cross stitch. I'm like, okay, sure. So I ended up sitting down with a little girl and going over some cross stitch, but it really turned out they needed spinning. So I ended up at the spinning, because then they were saying, oh, we might need weavers, but there was plenty of people there for weaving too. Didn't really want to teach knitting and crochet. I knit continental, so like that's too complicated a little bit for me to teach. Crochet, I'm not very good at crochet, so teaching that's kind of a no-no. Cross stitch for sure. Weaving, it was just the simple, very small, simple loom that was over, under. I could have done that for sure. But I wanted to do spinning. I was kind of signed up for spinning. That's what I wanted to do. So they had drop spindles. They had a bunch of drop spindles and buckets of fiber. So when someone came up and was interested, you gave them a drop spindle, and they got to pick out a little poof of fiber. And then I just kind of, showed them how to start it. They were bottom whorl spindles, which I prefer a top whorl, but it didn't really matter for spinning. But there's lots of young kids, lots of older adults. There's boys, girls, men, women. It was a really eclectic group. Anyone could come in and test it out. And if they really liked it and really showed interest, we got to give them the spindle to take home and a little bit of a floof. So yeah, it was really fun. So there were some people that came out that were somewhat semi-experienced, some that had used wheels before but not spindles. Then of course the kids that knew nothing. This one girl, she was my favorite. She was a young girl with her mom. She's probably like 7 or 8, but she was having a blast. She was having so much fun, and it was really cool. I was glad to send her home with spindle and the little floof of yarn. So she was super cute. And then there was another younger girl, probably mid-20s, that was really nice, and we chatted, and I think we friended each other on Ravelry, and she crochets but never spun, so hopefully she enjoyed taking home the spindle and hopefully I get to enable her into more spinning. So and then there was another girl, that her and her friend, the one girl had a wheel, so she knew the concepts of spinning, so she was in it, but her friend didn't. But man, she caught on super fast and was doing really well by the end of the time. But she said it wasn't really for her, so she didn't take the spindle with her. But her friend did, and so yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was fun, and I'm hoping next year to do it again. So depending on the time frame, but it worked out really well, because if you volunteer as a teacher, you get a free pass. So for the weekend. So yeah, I came in me and the family came in on Saturday. I got my free pass. And we went as a family on Saturday, walked around the whole fair, and then on Sunday I came back and did the volunteering. So that was pretty cool. So hopefully, yeah, that just worked out well. So, but that's not guaranteed to work out every year, because depending on the weekend and if we have plans and whatever. So, but we like to go to that. It's a fun event. They have lots of crafty things. They have robotics, lots of 3D printer displays, and just all techie, geeky, computery stuff. So everything maker. Everyone's a maker. So, but the kids got to make some cars. They actually they had these foam blocks that were a foam block attached to a wood block. I should have grabbed one. It was pretty cool. And the kids got to actually take the the block, and cut a car shape out of it with a hot wire cutter. Obviously it was very protected and there was a person assisting. Emily pretty much cut hers on her own. David had the guy kind of move it for him. But those hot wire cutters are always really cool. I remember using one in college and I thought those were awesome to cut flake foam and stuff. So they cut out their car shape. We hammered some wheels on it, and they got the I don't know if they got, no, I don't think they got the decorator right away, but they put their name on it, and then they got to race it. David's won in his race, so it was fun. And then they decorate them at home, but yeah, it was pretty cool. And they had other kind of crafts and stuff, lots of different displays and robot things, and I don't know, so we always have a good time. So that was that. And karate news, Emily is eligible to test for her green advanced. However, I just don't think she's ready. She hasn't been practicing very much, and she kind of doesn't remember things on the spot, so really need to work with her before she gets that, because it's getting harder. It's definitely getting harder. Last I recorded, I was about to test for purple. I have since tested for purple, got purple, and tested for green, and got green, so I really worked hard to try to catch up to Emily. So now we're both green, and I really need to work with her, and pretty much I already learned the things I need to know for green advanced, because there wasn't a lot in between the two, to be honest. There was like 1 or 2 kicks and a form. So, but I'm not going to test again. I'm going to practice it and refine it and everything. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We also signed, we haven't officially signed David up, but I took David and Jim to a family class. Jim was a little bit hesitant, but the kids kind of really was like, oh, Daddy, come on. So I'm hoping to encourage both of them to do it, and we can do a family class together every so often. So of course Jim and David are white belts, so it was nice to have them together, and then me and Emily were the green and purple at the time. I didn't have my belt yet, but so yeah, it was nice to have David have somebody with him learning, and then me and Emily, because they kind of break off the classes as in belt colors after the basic stuff. But it was fun. It was fun to do something as a family too, and I think it's good examples. That's a good example for the kids to see their parents kind of doing that too. So, but Jim he doesn't know if it's his thing, but I think he needs to give it another try. So we're working on it. So we haven't officially signed anybody up yet, but hopefully after I sign David up officially, Jim is free because it's family. It's like 3 and above for a certain price. So he's technically free. So, and he got a uniform, and he was he didn't think he was gonna get a uniform. He's like, I'm just gonna go in. I'm like, no, you gotta put on a uniform. So he got his uniform. But so yeah, it was kind of fun. That was a couple weeks ago. We haven't been back since, just because I was sick. I kind of missed out last week, and we just kind of been busy. So so that's that. Kickboxing is going on again, though. When I recorded last, I had kind of popped into a final couple kickboxing classes. But new session started. I signed up at the beginning. I've been to all of them except for last week. Like I said, last week was an off week. But I went last night, and yeah, it's like I go in and I'm like, oh, it's Monday. I don't want to be here, but by the time I leave, I feel pretty good. So it's a good workout. And it's a good class. So I think it goes through the end of August. So only a couple more weeks. But yeah, that's been fun. But it means I'm at karate studio like Monday through Thursday, because I have karate on Tuesday, and then I got kickboxing Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm not home. Other than that, summer has just been going by fast. We've done tons of, we haven't done, I keep saying we haven't done anything, but we've just done little things. So like last weekend we had family fun day in the subdivision, so we all met at the pool house, and they had bounce houses and face painting and balloon animals and snow cones and water slide and all sorts of fun things. So the kids had a blast doing that. We were there for a good 2 or 3 hours, and so that was a good family fun day. And then Sunday we went to the zoo, the Detroit Zoo. My dad, through his work, got tickets and gave them to us to use. So we went to the zoo and saw a lot of bears. David likes bears, so we saw a lot of the bears. So that was fun. I saw the penguin house there. They built a new penguin house. It's really cool. Butterfly house is always one of my favorites. So did that, and that was, yeah, we got there super early, like right when they opened, and so we were home by lunchtime really. So kind of made for a kind of a relaxing day the rest of the day. We've been to birthday parties, other family parties, and friend parties and stuff. You know, all these just little things. I've tried to take the kids out to the splash pad a couple times this summer. They've had day camp, so day camp has taken them on lots of field trips. They've gone to Belle Isle. They've gone to planetarium. They went out to a movie. Yeah, they were supposed to go to the beach, but they went to a movie because it rained, so that was kind of cool. They go to the beach a lot. What else have they done? They went to the zoo. Yeah, they took them to the zoo too. So yeah, the day camp's been really cool. Both kids have liked that. We have 2 more weeks, so this is their final week of day camp, and then we have 2 weeks of kind of free-for-all, whatever I want to do with them. I don't know if I'm excited about that or not, but we have 2 more weeks and then school, so it's going to be a little crazy to have them back to school. David's starting kindergarten, and Emily's in 2nd grade. They're going to a new school this year because we were redistricted into a new school. So David doesn't matter because he was just starting. Emily's a little nervous to start a new school, but she'll have lots of friends she knows, so she'll be fine. But I know it's going to be a little rocky start trying to figure out the new school, and even the staff at the new school, and everybody, the whole district's all being mixed around, so it's going to be an interesting year. So hopefully it goes well, and hopefully the kids get into it pretty good, and hopefully the schedule, I'm thinking of karate, and just back to that kind of hectic schedule. We're still sort of experiencing that this summer since we've had day camp, but yeah, it's hard to juggle everything. So, but I figure if each kid has one activity, and if they both do karate, that's convenient, then that's good. And then we have to fit in homework and reading and whatever. So I'm excited for it, but I'm a little nervous too. So I'm gonna have more free time. So hopefully I can podcast more and take care of the house more and do things I need to do. So we will see how that goes. This Saturday is Michigan Fiber Festival, so I'll be going to that. I'll be heading out there for the day and meeting up with some friends. Wiley, my friend Wiley, is coming to the house, I believe, and we're going to drive there from here. And then we're going to meet up with Kim from Chasing Acorns, and Deb and Sheila from the Never Cast Off podcast, I think, are setting up like a podcasting booth or something, and maybe a podcaster meetup. I'm not really sure of the details. I've kind of been out of the loop, so I'm not really, so whatever. But I'll be there, and if you're going to be there and you want to say hi, I will have buttons to pass out, so come see me and get a button. Yeah, I'm just going to tool around there. I'm not, I don't want to spend too much money. I'm sure I'll buy stuff, but, I'm kind of saving up the big bucks for Rhinebeck. So Rhinebeck is in October, so if you're going to Rhinebeck, let me know, and I'd love to meet up with you as well. It's the 21st, 22nd, and I will be there Saturday the 21st, and the 22nd is my birthday, so I'm excited, so that'll be fun. I don't know if I'm going to do the podcaster meetup. I'll probably go to the hill and hang out, but I don't, I might just chill out. I'm going to bring my blanket, bring my knitting. I might just chill, because like I said, this is only my 2nd episode this year. I feel like I don't feel like a real podcaster anymore, so unless I get my act together and I start recording like weekly up until October, we'll see. But I might just relax and chill and watch the chaos. So, but if you are there, I'd like to see you and say hi, so please look for me. And that's it. And this podcast today is brought to you by Curbside Grocery Shopping, because I never realized how amazing that was. So with my local grocery store, you can order all your food online, pick a time to pick it up, schedule a time to pick it up, go and pick it up, and they throw it all in your car, and then you drive away. So they've been doing this for a while, but I just kind of never really thought about doing it. And so I was talking to another mom yesterday. She's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I ordered all my groceries last night. I set the pickup for 9 o'clock this morning, which the kids were home, because it's like, I'm not taking the kids out. That's the problem. I can't take the kids out grocery shopping because they're constantly like all over the place grabbing, and it's like it's going to take me 2 hours as opposed to 1 hour to go grocery shopping. So I loaded them in the car, and we went to the store and parked, and they came out and put all my food in, and it was like 10 minutes. It was like a 10-minute shopping excursion, and it was like amazing. I came home, I loaded my groceries, and then I took them to camp. So it's like I finished all my shopping before I even took them to camp. So I'm like, hey, I got time to record a podcast. So here I am. But now I got to spend all the time to upload and edit and whatever. So we'll see. Maybe it will not get out today. Maybe it'll get out tomorrow. But that's okay. I'm happy to have it recorded. It's now in the books, so I hope to see you again soon. Please, again, subscribe. Crafty Cat Lady on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, the Cat Lady, 2 T's, TheCattLady. Also, Facebook group, the Cat Lady Podcast. And yeah, if you have any questions. Oh, and I have a Ravelry group, so come check out the Ravelry group, the Cat Lady Podcast. Come say hi, introduce yourself, and I'll say hi to you, and come join in any conversation. Start a conversation. I don't care. It's very a dead group right now just because I haven't been around, so hopefully that'll change in the next someday. Maybe next year it'll change. I don't know. So, but thanks for tuning in. If you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. So I thank you, and I hope everyone has a good week. And I will talk to you later. Bye.